Hi everyone, and welcome to Truth Over News. The illusion of access. That's what the entire Biden corruption saga is about. Not access, just the illusion of it. Countless foreign businessmen and corrupt CEOs have showered the Biden family with millions of dollars for an illusion. At least that's what we're being told by the media. Where did this idea come from? Who coined that term, and how did it get to be so well coordinated? If we believe the media, the notion that the Biden family got millions of dollars for an illusion came from Hunter Biden's business partner, Devon Archer. The problem is that it didn't. Archer never said it, and the Biden family never sold an illusion. They sold real access. Devon Archer was Hunter Biden's business partner in their infamous Ukraine venture with Burisma, the corrupt gas company. And last week, Devon Archer went before a House committee to answer questions about his association with Hunter Biden. While that was a private session, Archer followed it up with a public session on Tucker Carlson's new show on Twitter. But before Archer could talk to Tucker, and before we could all hear Archer say it in his own words, the media was busy molding a new narrative, a narrative which they hoped to entrench before anyone got to hear the truth. It was one of the most egregiously dishonest, fake narrative creations in a long time, even by the media's very low standards. You see, the problem is that Joe Biden has for years claimed that he never spoke to Hunter about his business dealings. He famously shouted at Fox News' Peter Doocy for even asking the question.
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
And so how do you know?
Here's what I know. I know Trump deserves to be investigated. He is violating every basic norm of a president. You should be asking him the question, why is he on the phone with a foreign leader, trying to intimidate a foreign leader?
But that wasn't all. Biden also denied that there had been any influence peddling at all.
Hunter Biden, together with other Biden family members, profited off the Biden name. Is there any legitimacy to Senator Johnson's claims?
None whatsoever. This is the same garbage Rudy Giuliani, Trump's henchman. It's a last-ditch effort in this desperate campaign to smear me and my family.
So when we found out last week from Devon Archer that Joe Biden was frequently on speakerphone with Hunter's business partners, Archer recounted at least 20 occasions, that was a big problem for the official narrative. What was needed was a new narrative to fix that problem, and thus stepped forward, not for the first time, Democrat House member Dan Goldman. You'll recall that Goldman was one of the Ukraine impeachment persecutors who went after Donald Trump for his phone call with the Ukrainian president. Goldman has a history of lying. During the Ukraine impeachment proceedings, he falsely conflated Ukraine's corrupt prosecutor, a man called Vitaly Yarema, with his successor, Viktor Shokin, whom Biden got fired.
When he said that there were problems because Zlochevsky paid a bribe, the head of Burisma, in order to get out from under the prosecution, that was exactly the type of conduct that Vice President Biden wanted to shut down in Ukraine. That was exactly the type of non-anti-corruption policies that Vice President Biden was objecting to using the official policy.
What Goldman doesn't want you to know is that in early 2015, Yarema's office took a bribe from Hunter's firm Burisma to shut down an investigation into Burisma. This happened while Hunter was the head of Burisma's legal unit. As a result, tens of millions of dollars from Burisma were unfrozen. When that story unraveled, Yarema had to go. Yarema was replaced with a retired prosecutor brought in to clean up the mess. That man was Viktor Shokin, probably the only good prosecutor general Ukraine ever had. So you can see what Goldman and the Democrats have done. They created a false narrative where Biden fired the prosecutor who took the bribe from Burisma, knowing full well that the opposite is the case. In truth, Biden fired the guy who replaced the corrupt guy. That false narrative, that Biden fired the prosecutor who took the bribe, is still extremely widespread and entrenched. That's how efficient Democrat and media collaboration is. Maybe they're also counting on the fact that most people can't keep track of all these different names. It's an effective tactic. Even House investigators who interviewed Devon Archer last week got confused about the two different prosecutors. Having so successfully planted the false story conflating the good and the bad prosecutors, Goldman is now again being called upon to fix a big Biden problem. The problem that Biden has for years lied about his family's influence peddling. And this is where the term illusion of access comes in. The plan was to create a new narrative whereby there wasn't any access or influence peddling at all. Just an illusion of it. Just Hunter being a bit naughty, but not actually doing anything bad. And guess what? It worked. Almost every single media outlet parroted Goldman's lie, hook, line, and sinker. Here's the AP. Hunter Biden sold illusion of access to his father, former business partner, tells Congress. And here's Axios. Hunter Biden associate ascribes illusion of access. And The Hill, Devon Archer, debate focused on Hunter Biden illusion of access. And then there's CNN. Former business partner says Hunter Biden sold illusion of access to Joe Biden, source says. The Washington Post used a fake news wire feed to claim that Hunter Biden sold illusion of access to his father, former business partner, tells Congress. And let's not forget about PBS. Hunter Biden sold illusion of access to his father, former business partner, tells Congress. Time told its readers that Hunter Biden sold illusion of access to his father, former associate, testifies. Here's what MarketWatch said. Hunter Biden pitched clients on illusion of access to his father, who never once spoke about any business dealings, former business partner, tells House panel. Nation News claimed that Hunter Biden was selling illusion of access to his father, Archer. And then there's the New York Times. They claim that Archer just said yes when asked about the illusion of access. But that's not what Archer said. He said that that wasn't the whole story and that there were real touch points, real contact points, real communications. And if you thought that Fox News would have been a little bit more careful when it comes to Democrat hoaxes, turns out they're not. Here's what Fox News reported. Hunter Biden sold illusion of access, says former business partner. We could go on and on. Nearly every media organization claimed that Biden corruption was merely an illusion, and they claimed that the person who said this was Devon Archer, Hunter Biden's business partner. But that was a total lie. It wasn't Devon Archer who used the term illusion of access. It was Dan Goldman.